We've all heard about stress. We all know that stress impacts us greatly. That long-term stress can create chronic illnesses within us, that it's not good for us at all, and we really need to be monitoring our stress levels. And with today's society, that's even more challenging than probably it's ever been before. But I want to talk about the opposite side of that. So what does it feel like when we're relaxing? Because many people don't even know how it feels to be relaxed, because they've forgotten, because they've been up here for so long with their stress, they've forgotten what it feels like to be down here. And one of the ways is to recognize is, how do you feel when you start to relax? Are you even aware of what's going on when you're starting to relax? So a few years ago, I had a lot of moving parts going on. I had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life and a lot of stuff going on in my professional life. And my stress was up here. I knew it. I didn't know how to undo it. I was in so much overwhelm all the time. I was constantly under the pump. And I just kept having this real deep-seated calling to go to the beach. Now, the beach is my happy place, but I had forgotten about what the beach gave me for many years. So I took myself to the beach. I carved out some time in my day and I went. I was there for an hour, 1 hour. And what I noticed was when I was coming home, I kept sighing. And they weren't just like little sighs. These were deep-seated, big sighs. And these sighs were my body's way of releasing all that tension that it had been holding on to for way too long. When I realized that my body was doing this, it was such a big light bulb moment for me. And it was a real eye-opener of, I need to be carving out time for myself, because that cannot be good for me to be up here all the time. And so I started to do that. But what I also did was I sat and spent some time of, what are some of the things that help me feel relaxed? What are some of the things that help bring me joy? And how can I implement them on a regular basis into my life so I'm not constantly sitting at these high levels of stress? And so I started putting them into place. And I do have a cheat sheet that I want to share with you if you're happy to have it. Comment cheat sheet below, because that's going to help you implement some of these. It's a 21-day tips and tricks of some of the things you can look at doing in order to really start bringing down your stress levels. So I've been doing that for a long time. A few things have happened, things have changed. This year I set some goals, and in the process of setting those goals, I put myself under the pump. And while I do keep a fairly balanced life, what I noticed was over the weekend we lit a fire, and then we have a nice little campfire. We hadn't lit it since the end of COVID, and my kids and I were around this campfire. What I noticed was I started to sigh again, and it hit me. Wow. I've been letting my stress increase. Now, here's the problem with stress is it's not like you just wake up stressed. If you're under the pump, you constantly got things to do. You're ticking things off your list. You've got, kids running here, there. You're building a business, or you're entrepreneur, or you're working, or you're a mum, or whatever it is. And you keep moving it up. It's a gradual increase. It's almost like we keep trying to handle ourselves more and more and more until the point where we can't handle it anymore. And then we start lashing out, or we start breaking down, or we start getting overwhelmed. But we want to be able to recognize that it's not about allowing ourselves to get used to being up here. It's about really recognizing what it feels like to be down here, what it feels like to be in your relaxed state, and give yourself permission to be there. So I can tell you now, on the weekend, I had the best sleep I've had for a long time. And the reason I've had that is because I've been able to reduce my stress down. So if you're interested in learning or getting some tips and tricks, then comment cheat sheet below, and we will get that off to you. It is for free, but sometimes we need just some ideas of where to even start in starting to recognize that we can't stay here. We actually need to be here, and this needs to be our normal, not up there.